The big news out of New York City, they rang in the new year with a new mayor, and he is making the headlines for sure. Zohran Mamdani, a self-described Democrat, socialist. He took the oath of office. He actually did a couple things. He took the oath on as at the stroke of midnight on Wednesday night going into Thursday. He took the official oath, I guess, in a vacated subway below City Hall in New York City with just a small group of people. Attorney General Letitia James was there to swear him in. That tells you a lot right there. If he has Letitia James swearing him in. And then yesterday afternoon, he had sort of the big public inauguration, if you will, where he had his speeches, and he had other people like Senator Bernie Sanders, AOC was there, just the usual gang. And if you live in New York City and you're not worried right now, you're not paying attention. Because get ready, buckle up, because this ride is going to get rough. It's not, is it going to be rough? It's going to be rough. It's just a matter of how quickly it gets there. And based on his remarks and based on remarks of others who spoke yesterday, this could happen pretty quickly, because he says that he's not going to shy away from his campaign promises. He was pretty extreme out on the campaign trail. And quite often you have politicians who will kind of moderate their stance once they're in office. Not this guy. Not Zohran Mamdani. In typical Mamdani fashion, he delivered a very populist message on his first day in office. This was at the public event in cut number 5. He talks about the promises he made during the campaign. He talks about how, yes, he's going to govern the way he campaigned. Here's Zohran Mamdani.
My fellow New Yorkers, today begins a new era. I stand before you moved by the privilege of taking this sacred oath, humbled by the faith that you have placed in me, and honored to serve as either your 111th or 112th mayor of New York City. But I do not stand alone. I stand alongside you, the tens of thousands of you gathered here in Lower Manhattan, warmed against the January chill by the resurgent flame of hope. I stand alongside countless more New Yorkers watching from cramped kitchens in Flushing and barbershops in East New York, from cell phones propped against the dashboards of parked taxicabs at LaGuardia, from hospitals in Mott Haven and libraries in El Barrio that have too long known only neglect. I stand alongside construction workers in steel-toed boots and halal cart vendors whose knees ache from working all day. I stand alongside neighbors who carry a plate of food to the elderly couple down the hall, those in a rush who still lift strangers' strollers up subway stairs, and every person who makes the choice day after day, even when it feels impossible, to call our city home. I stand alongside over 1 million New Yorkers who voted for this day nearly 2 months ago. And I stand just as resolutely alongside those who did not.
You have to give him credit. He is a fabulous speaker. He's very articulate. And again, if you live in New York City and you're not paying attention, if this doesn't bother you, then you're not living in reality. New York City has some tough days ahead of it. He walked right out on the platform saying, "We will govern expansively and audaciously. To those who insist the era of big government is over, hear me when I say it, it is not." And that's the scary part. I'm sure he's a nice young man. He's again, very articulate speaker. He's motivational. He kind of makes you feel good when you listen to him. But I think he's very naive when it comes to how you govern a city the size of New York. If he thinks bigger government is the answer, that's where New Yorkers are going to have a tough time. Mamdani, he's not trying to hide at all the direction that he's taking. He's very out front. In cut number 2, he talks about the changes that he plans for New York City and how he plans to govern. Here's Mamdani again, cut number 2.
We will draw this city closer together. We will replace the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism. We will answer to all New Yorkers, not to any billionaire or oligarch who thinks they can buy our democracy. We will govern without shame and insecurity, making no apology for what we believe. I was elected as a democratic socialist, and I will govern as a democratic socialist. I will not abandon my principles for fear of being deemed radical. These policies are not simply about the costs we make free, but the lives we fill with freedom. For too long in our city, freedom has belonged only to those who can afford to buy it. Our city hall will change that.
Now, you may say, well, I don't live in New York. This really doesn't affect me. And as someone who lives in upstate South Carolina, I've certainly thought that. But we all have to take notice, because having Bernie Sanders and AOC and a lot of the other socialist activists at this event yesterday, this is an experiment. They're seeing this as a way to expand their beliefs. They want it to come to South Carolina. They want it to go to Minnesota. They want it to go to Dallas, Texas. They want it to go any city where they can find a Democrat socialist to run on their ticket. That's what they want to do. They want to expand their party. And that's where it should concern you. Because, again, we've seen this movie before. It doesn't work. When you start having rent controls, when you start telling the people that everything's going to be free public transportation, how does New York City operate their metro system free? It's hard enough to operate it based on the fares they charge now. If you just give it away, who's going to pay for it? And here's the thing that I don't think he quite understands. He's talking about taxing the rich, taxing the billionaires. And, of course, that's what Bernie Sanders, that's his mainstay. You got to tax the rich. They got to pay more of their fair share. Well, guess what? Those rich, the rich people, the billionaires they're talking about, they're going to move out of the city. They're going to go someplace that's more tax-friendly. Then what do you have?